forgot to hit the start stream, but my bad. I'm an idiot.
Hi, guys. So we weren't streaming that whole time.
Don't worry, they restarted the lobby. It's fine.
All right, so we restarted lobby, but I guess I got to do my re-intro here. I look out here and I'm seeing no stream online.
NA production.
Yeah, NA production once again, but that's the only mistake we'll have today.
Exactly.
Regardless, let me do my re-intro here. I got Joey with me, the GOAT. He was here all day yesterday. I'm here all day today. And it's just awesome. But regardless, the energy we got in here today, we have a lot of games we're going to produce for you today. We got University of Michigan coming in here, number 4 seed, and Champlain, number 9 seed. Starting out here on Lijiang Tower. This is one of the best GOAT maps that we've seen in the tournament so far. Everybody loves this map. This is the control map, and this is going to be best of 3 instead of the best of 5, which is fantastic for stream because we had 5 best of 5 maps so far in this tournament. And quite honestly, the viewership and the support that you guys have shown us is quite honestly astounding. I love it. It's been incredible. It's been incredible. We had over 500 new viewers on this stream alone. And on our secondary stream, we reached a max viewership of 120 viewers, which is a QCC record, I believe, from the UC Sports president himself, which is just insane. So thank you to everybody that has tuned into these streams. We, on average, I think we're going to, hopefully today, burst that bubble of over 300 viewers on both streams combined, which would be just insane. But regardless, starting out here on Lijiang Tower, I don't know. What do you think? What do you think over here, Joey?
I think it's really interesting Champlain sticking with the Wrecking Ball. They played it a lot, especially in their first match yesterday against, I believe it was, I forget who the first match. I think it was Texas Tech.
Yeah.
But
I think, yeah.
Yuyo looked really impressive on the Wrecking Ball. Champlain, in general, coming off a really impressive win over Penn State yesterday, but Yuyo immediately gets 2 boop-off kills onto one of which being the main support for Michigan. That's a really good start for Champlain.
That indeed. Rolling the Wrecking Ball here is definitely interesting on Lijiang Tower. I've seen it played many times before, but we've seen in this tournament a Ram v Ram matchup all the time. So having this change of tank is definitely one to watch out for, and that's what we're going to see Toby1 kind of opt for here is going to be that Winston. So we're going to see a double dive back and forth composition here, which is definitely going to be either beneficial for Champlain because I know they want to stick on this Wrecking Ball potentially, which is going to work out really well with that Venture and Soj pick, but Venture goes down immediately there by Toby1.
It's a exemplary of the difference in these 2 dive compositions. Toby1's going to find it much easier to go a lot faster as his DPS partner being the Tracer. They're going to be able to move with a lot more pace. Yuyo's going to be more on his own most of the time, having to wait on his Sojourner Venture to get into position.
That indeed, and that's exactly what you're going to see here by Toby1. He was able to take out Kazuma right there immediately, and Toby1 is just getting so much value on this Winston, and that's exactly what I was thinking was going to happen here into a Wrecking Ball. Wrecking Ball doesn't really want to work with his team necessarily. He wants to just go in and make space for the team. That's the tank that makes space, and that's exactly what you want to do. You want to enable your Venture, you want to enable your Sojourn, and that's exactly what's happening here. But regardless, Toby1 was able to, get his team in there. Look at all this value that this Winston's getting.
He'll have a Primal in the next 20 seconds.
Exactly. So he's already 90 to ult, and we're approaching 40% here on our first point of Lijiang for Michigan. And we're going to have a nano Winston.
Going in already with that nano boost, he forces out Rigpig's teleport right away. Gonna get some more force onto this backline, prevent him from getting any purchase onto the point, and now he's able to go in freely with this Primal Rage. Knee's forced to slide out, get away. Claymore with dropping in the boop, and Toby1 is able to find Knee eventually after the slide runs out. Claymore is going to help facilitate this Winston here, and Michigan's going to clean up this fight.
That indeed, and we're approaching now 70% here on our first point, which is really, really good for Michigan. They're in a great spot, especially when you're looking at the ults for Champlain here. They only have 3 that they're kind of approaching. Michigan doesn't have any, but they're going to be able to burn out all these ults and basically have a free team fight win if they play it correctly. But these anti-nades that we've seen so many times before might take out Knee or not quietly. He was on 1 HP, but Claymore gets a nice pick there onto Plankton, and that's already a 4v5 here. But we're into a pause, so we'll be right back. It's probably a technical issue, but I'll see you guys here momentarily. All right, and welcome back to our Queen City Clash LAN here. We had a technical pause there, but regardless, we're back in here, and we're already to overtime in favor of Michigan. We're going to see that QCC rush right out from Rig Pig, and we're pausing once again, and it crashed once again, so we'll be right back. We're going to probably have a PC swap, so it might be a minute or two. Hello, hello, and welcome back. We are in overtime once again after some technical pauses, unfortunately, but we're still looking at that QCC rush from RigPig, from Champlain, as well as this excavation from Plankton. Unfortunately, able to get anything. Knee drops out that overclock, looking for anything at all to secure this one for Champlain, but it almost goes to a C9 there, and it looks exactly that's what's going to happen, but Kazuma and Plankton both get one. Trades back and forth. This is still a very winnable fight here for Champlain. It looks like it will be in favor of them as Tobywan is forced out. Eventful.
Very eventful. Champlain had 4 ults going into that fight, and they dropped all of them and still barely won. It was a really good job from Michigan to be able to hold it to that point. But now we have Plankton going over onto the Reaper to make it even more difficult for Tobywan to get anything done on these dives. However, it's pretty easy to avoid the Reaper once you force out that teleport.
Exactly, and that's it. That's what. Oh,
ooh, and unfortunately, Waddley hits that pulse bomb onto the wrecking ball and gets rolled into by his own pulse bomb. Dino coming out with the overclock though is able to find 1, 2, looking for a third with that beat protecting him. Yuio's trying to bother him, but it's not going to do a whole lot. And Michigan should be retaking control and finishing out this map unless Yuio rather is able to stay alive for long enough to hold on to the point, and he is not. The beat from Kazuma is a second too late.
Exactly, and that's what we're going to see here. That beat dropped out, but he's going to be 1 HP this entire time. Michigan is going to be in a really rough spot to be able to hold on to this one as we're still at 99%. Once again, another C9 there, barely by a centimeter, but Doppelganger will secure this one for his team as Dino takes out one. Waddle D cleans up the fight, and Tobywan once again sends the rest of them back into the spawn room as Champlain is still holding on by a thread, but it won't be enough. Michigan takes the first map on Lijiang Tower.
And you saw some interesting composition swaps there. Tobywan going on to the Winston in order to try and outpace the Wrecking Ball composition of Champlain. It worked out really well. Champlain tried to go from the Ana onto the Kiriko for RigPig just to try and make the backline a little less diveable, but they still weren't able to keep up with the pace that was able to be put out by Michigan's Winston Tracer combination.
And that's what we're going to see here. We're going to see a Genji swap by Plankton. Kenny won't stick on that Symmetra probably. These are going to be just teleport swaps. So the team will teleport out spawn. They're going to amp speed probably by their Lucios. And then we'll actually see what comps are going to be running. But Yuio will stick to that Wrecking Ball still. I think Wrecking Ball on this submap is definitely one to watch out for because you have this ramp here that you see there, and you also have this white room over here that can get absolutely abused in on Wrecking Ball. But Kazuma takes out Dino immediately here, and Champlain might have an opening to capture this point.
That's most of Michigan's damage out the window as soon as the fight starts, and their other DPS falls as Kazuma is able to find Waddley as well. Yuio rolling into the rest of the team, hoping to just force them back and allow his team to capture this point. It looks like they will.
One big thing are going to be these antis once again, and that's how exactly Yuio will die by Dino there. And those Ananades by Doppelganger are going to be crucial here for Michigan to secure this first map in this best-of-3 series. And one big thing to watch out for is going to be that Genji. Plankton is going to want to look towards Doppelganger and Claymore alike, and Claymore has been pretty much 1 HP this entire time, but that doesn't matter because Tobywan will come in and take out Plankton and Yuio alike as well, and that'll be the point secure for Michigan.
Yuio dying so soon after Champlain capped that point was really just unfortunate for Champlain. It allowed Michigan an opening to immediately come back in onto the point. And I think this Genji swap for Plankton is a good choice, definitely better than the Reaper he was attempting to do. It allows Yuio to not have to worry as much about where his DPS are positioned as Plankton can get in faster. But Dino immediately getting a headshot kill onto the Champlain Lucio is going to delay them even more.
30% here for Michigan, looking towards ults. Knee has his overclock here momentarily, but Michigan has a full arsenal of ults approaching very quickly as we're now on to 40%. And it's going to probably be wandering around Dino's overclock with a nano, but Waddle D is forced out with that. Nano. All right, we had something pop up on our screen and we couldn't see anything, but that's fine. Regardless, Plankton comes back and secures the 3K, unfortunately, that we didn't see, but that's okay.
Yeah, Nano Boost onto Tobywan didn't get a whole lot done, it seems, even though we couldn't see exactly what ended up happening. He ended up using the Primal Rage, but couldn't get enough work done to keep that fight alive for Michigan. Plankton now creeping up towards his Dragon Blade, and Knee with that overclock. Knee was probably the biggest playmaker for Champlain yesterday. Every overclock he had got at least, seemed to get at least 2 kills, so be on the lookout for that as soon as he pops this. Plankton now has that Dragon Blade holding on to it. He'll probably look to get onto Doppelganger. Beat comes in from Kazuma, and there's the overclock from Dino, actually. Both beats out now. Dino held out nicely by Yuyo's minefield, and Knee with the overclock now. Still looking for it. Plankton's Dragon Blade's able to find one onto Toby-Wan, and that should be enough for Champlain to hold control of this point, clicking up towards 70% now.
70% indeed. I think Yuo's Wrecking Ball ult right there was definitely one that kind of secured that for Champlain. It secured off that overclock as well as that beat, and it definitely played in favor of Champlain, but that doesn't matter because Toby-Wan comes out, kills out Knee, and this will be the opening that Michigan needs as they'll be forced to reset, potentially. Kazuma almost got Toby-Wan off the map there, but it still doesn't matter because Champlain is still fighting this one out as they kind of stall this over to 88%, which is still working in their favor because now it's a one-team fight game, potentially.
One team fight game, and Champlain's focus now should be to build those ultimates back up. You have Rig Pig close to that Kiriko rush, but this next fight, Champlain is probably going to look to definitely get that nano out of Doppelganger and an incoming Primal Rage and Pulse Bomb from Toby-Wan and Wadley. Of course, they could win out this fight, but they've got to go quickly, or else this is going to turn into a one-fight territory victory for Michigan as Dino takes out Kazuma.
And this is definitely the opening that Michigan needs. Is that initial pick is massive here for the Wolverines, but we're approaching 90% now. And one big thing is going to get Plankton out of this fight if he doesn't get out, and he does, but Toby-Wan is still walking right through Champlain. This Nano Winston is going to be deadly here for Michigan as he takes out one. Knee goes down, Waddle Dee to follow up, but that Kiriko rush is on point. Rig Pig finally gets out. That rush is over. Waddle Dee cleans up another one, looking for a third. Is he able to get this one too? Plankton on 1 HP and he goes down too, but Champlain took the point there and we're still into overtime. 99-99 situation here. Kazuma on 1 HP looking to hopefully get Champlain back onto this map, but it doesn't matter because Toby-Wan gets one, gets another Claymore, takes out Knee off the map potentially there. Toby-Wan secures this one for Michigan as we're still into overtime. Champlain may be able to recontest this. That Pulse Bomb goes off the map.
Rig Pig gets one.
Yeah, Rig Pig takes out Waddle Dee. That's huge here, and it's still a 4v4. This is still one go or another, but it doesn't matter because Li Zhang goes to the Wolverines.
It was just, I feel like they did have a chance there to get back into it. It's just the respawns weren't there in time. Rig Pig was able to get one kill to try to open it up, but just a little too late.
That indeed. I think one of the biggest things here was Toby-Wan's presence. That nanoed Winston was just huge for the Wolverines, and that definitely played into their favor. They take that 2-0 victory over Champlain and take the first map in our best of 3 series, but we'll be waiting for the map pick and the hero bands here momentarily. We'll be right back. Right, and welcome back to our best of 3 series here. University of Michigan versus Champlain. Michigan has the lead after they took the 2-0 victory on Li Jiang Tower there. Took the first map, and we're headed in our match point here, but we're sent off to Esperanza. What do you think, Joey?
Esperanza is probably my favorite push map. I don't know if that's a unpopular take. I'm pretty sure it's a pretty common take in the Overwatch community. But winning the first fight at mid here is going to be really important as we head back to lobby. For
it's really important because we head back to lobby. W lobby. But you know that's all right because
and
product we won't open chat, but we won't open the chat.
As I was saying, winning the first fight here at mid is going to be really important as the two dueling high grounds on Esperanza make it extremely difficult for the team that starts at a disadvantage to be able to claw that back, especially if the team that won is competent at controlling those high grounds. We saw that in every match where this map was played yesterday.
Yeah, and we'll see about 15 seconds here exactly which team we'll be rolling out with, but kind of what you're going to see here is maybe another ball pick here by UEO. I'm not sure what his arsenal kind of entails, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does opt for the ball. But what we've seen pretty much all day has been these dive comps from both of these teams, and that's what we're going to see here now.
I would really like if Champlain would stick with this with the ball tracer combination rather than the Sojourn Genji kind of thing they were doing on the first map. It allows them to operate at the same pace that Michigan is going to be operating at, especially given that Michigan's going to be running with that Winston tracer dive. I haven't seen the knee tracer yet, so I am curious to see how that's going to look for him.
Yeah, that'll be definitely interesting, but one thing that goes without doubt is going to be Yu-Gi-Oh's presence on that tank, and he's going to just cause a lot of problems on Wrecking Ball, and that's kind of what Champlain kind of wants to use to their advantage, especially with this Pharah. Pharah is so deadly in this comp, and when you have so much chaos, Pharah definitely excels, and that's what you're going to see here. Dino and Toby1 both go down by Kani and Plankton, and that's going to be a win here for Champlain, as we only have 9 minutes left. These maps go really quick. These push maps have a set amount of time, and you can't, it ends between 10 and 11 minutes. So that's exactly what we're going to see here. It's going to be very fast paced, and dive is very, very deadly.
And I am definitely a big fan of what Champlain's decided to do here. You saw that with Kani able to get that quick cleanup kill onto the low health Winston, and it's going to allow them to operate much quicker off of these Plankton direct rockets. He's looking for the Sojourn here, almost is able to find out Dino. Back over to the front line, UEO and Toby1 having a bit of a tickle fight over on the point. Toby1 falling low, pops out his bubble. He's able to stay healthy for now. Plankton going low over the top, but that bot is going to stay in the same position with this archway for a little while yet, as both teams are kind of jockeying position on the high ground. Big ante onto Dino, and he's going to fall here. UEO able to capitalize off of that, and that's a big advantage in this fight for Champlain. Toby1 able to refine that onto the Champlain Ana, though. Rig pick going down, as I think Champlain's going to have a bit of keep this advantage in this fight, and they're going to click on over to this checkpoint now.
Indeed, you know, kind of what you're going to see here, there is no Kiriko from either team, so it's going to be really tough. Those Ana nades are going to be so crucial for both teams. That's what we've seen this entire tournament. Pretty much every team that we've spectated so far has had this Ana that's been so deadly and has secured so many team fights for pretty much every team so far. We've seen it with BGSU, we've seen it with Champlain when we streamed them, and we also see it with Red, University of Cincinnati Red, and many other teams alike. So Ana in this comp is going to be so crucial to both teams, especially in these dives.
Michigan so far finding it very difficult to deal with the Plankton Pharah as well. Wadley's able to find a pulse bomb onto Cosma though, and Cosma had that beat, so it's a big opening pick for the University of Michigan. Plankton find back onto that barrage though. Another huge anti-nade from Doppelganger. 2 members hit. They're so low in the back. Dino's trying to find it onto them, and he's able to right here with the help of Wadley. Michigan's able to climb back into this map now. Dino's going to escape with his life, but Michigan is going to start making their own progress here. They'll probably get to this archway before this next fight takes place. A nano from Rig Pig is probably going to go on to either Knee or Plankton, I would have to guess.
Yeah, 7 minutes left into this matchup, and there's only 2 ults for here for Champlain. They're going to be running kind of on fumes, unfortunately, to get this robot back in their favor, but that nano boost does come out on Tobywan that we've seen on Lijiang Tower. That forces out that Lucio beat. Plankton goes down 1 next, looking for Rig Pig. He goes down as well. And this is exactly what we want to see from the University of Michigan. The Wolverines are just steamrolling onto Champlain, and we will be approaching that next checkpoint here as we approach 6 minutes left here in Esperanza.
Really efficient ult fight from Michigan as well. They only use the nano boost and the overclock to get that fight win. That means they still have 2 ults left over to push this bot even further. On the other side, Champlain still is holding on to that Rig Pig nano boost. Probably going to try to want to force out Claymore's beat before they go in with that, as it's the only ult they have. But Tobywan is going to be able to go pretty deep here with the Primal Rage. I'd imagine he's going to try and find out Rig Pig.
And that's exactly kind of what University of Michigan wants to do. Yuyo on 1 HP finally goes down there by Waddle-Dee. That Lucio beat comes out by Claymore to be sure and secure this lead for Michigan, and they do. As 5 minutes and 45 seconds remain on this point, Plankton goes down as well, and Michigan is just having that ball continuously roll, and they're looking very, very strong here on our match point for Esperanza.
Rig Pig still holding on to that nano boost. They haven't found a great opportunity to go in yet, but now with no beat on the field for the University of Michigan, this is going to be Champlain's opportunity to turn this around and get back into this map. Nice sleep onto Tobywan. They're going to wake up here in a second with that Primal Rage. Yuyo going out of half health in the back line, and Rig Pig might fall here before getting out the nano. That's really bad for Champlain.
And that's exactly what we've seen here in Lijiang. Tobywan is such a good Winston here. He has been absolutely blowing up the entire Champlain backline. And that's what we've seen there on Rig Pig. Rig Pig went flying, and it just forced Champlain so far back. And now they are in a 60-meter deficit as they struggle to win one team fight here to get this robot back, as we have 4 minutes and 45 seconds left here on Esperanza. Yuyo drops out those Wrecking Ball ults.
The minefield. He drops the minefield.
That minefield. Thank you. But that doesn't look like it'll be enough, as Michigan is still holding on with a thread here and contesting this point maybe. But Champlain does have the robot back, but they're still fighting it. Like, they still have a lot of room to work, and we'll see that there as Plankton on 1 HP takes out Waddle-Dee. And this is exactly where Michigan needs to be. They're still going to just poke back and forth. They have plenty of meterage to work with. They have over 80 meters here, or almost 80 meters to work with, and that's exactly what they're going to capitalize on.
Michigan is going to should be really easily able to hold this at the archway here, but they've allowed the bot to push a little farther than I think they would have liked. Dino with the overclock, though, is able to find one onto Cosma. Both supports out for Champlain immediately. That's 2 ultimates off, and he's able to find a 3rd onto Knee, and a 4th. A big cleanup for Dino, as he's able to find both supports and both DPS. Yuyo, the only one left alive for Champlain, as Michigan pushes it right back to the other side of the map.
And that's what we thought was going to happen here. Yuyo on Wrecking Ball is going to cause problems, but it doesn't look like it'll be enough, because Tobywan and being nano boosted on Winston, it's just going to cause more problems, I think, than just a regular old Wrecking Ball. And that's what we've seen there as Michigan takes back the point, but that nano boost does go on to Knee. Doesn't look like you'll get anything at all, as Kazma is on 1 HP. Knee finally takes out Dino there at the end of his nano. Takes out 2, actually, but Rig Pig goes down instead of that trade. But it looks like Champlain will have the opening that they need, as Tobywan will be the only one left standing here.
And it's a great fight for for Champlain to get the spot moving back in the other direction. The problem is they've got to win at least 3 more fights to even think about equaling the push for University of Michigan on the other side, and Michigan is going to have both of these high ground opportunities to take a really advantageous fight position. Good news is for Champlain, they are coming up on 4 ultimates, including Plankton's overclock coming up here in just a second, so they're going to have an opportunity to climb back into this map if they use their ults wisely. Beat out from Kazuma to keep them sustained in this fight. The Primal Rage from Tobywan is not going to find a whole lot. In fact, he might not be able to get out with his life. Plankton able to find him with the overclock. Looking for the Tracer now. Dino able to equalize onto the opposing tank, so no tanks on the field now for either side. Waddle-Dee on the Tracer trying to get out, will not be able to. Plankton able to clean him up as well. Claymore trying to keep his team sustained here as Rigpig is able to find Dino, and that should be a fight win for the University of Champlain. However, Claymore's committing the beat. I believe it's a 2v4 on the cart right now.
Yeah, I think that beat was more or less to keep him alive, but I don't know if I agree with that. I think you could have traded your Lucio in that case scenario. You did have the upper advantage, but it doesn't matter because we're already back. Champlain has all of their players back here, and it's just going to be back and forth fight. This is kind of what we've seen. Oh, are we frozen? No, we're good. All right, we're back. But regardless, Michigan took over that point, and that nano boost is going to come on Toby1. That deadly Winston is going to be able to find anything. He's been on half HP this entire time. He's able to find one. Rigpig goes down. Is he looking for another node? Because Dino goes down, but Plankton goes down instead, and it's just going to be back and forth here as Kani takes out that Michigan backline. The Wolverines are staggering one by one here as Kani is starting to force a problem here on that Wolverine backline. 1 minute remains in our Esperanza matchup here. No ults for pretty much either side here. Rigpig does have that rush. Uio takes out Claymore finally, and that's just a trade. Lucio 1-1 trade there, as we see there. So either team is pretty slow right now, but that doesn't matter because Michigan retakes that forward spawn. We are now under 1 minute here on 1-0 matchup between Michigan and Champlain.
And that whole long fight going back and forth the entire time, the bot never moved much away from center, and Michigan is perfectly happy to take these scrappy trade fights like that because they're in the lead by over 50 meters. They don't need to worry about trying to force and win a clean fight. Champlain needs to win a few clean fights and able to get back into this, and hopefully this fight right here is the start of that as Uio and Plankton clean up the straggling members of Michigan.
And it definitely looks like they got the ball rolling now. They did get that forward checkpoint earlier in the match, so they don't have to wait here now. They did win that pretty easily. Plankton hit a lot of good shots there on Sojourn. He's approaching that overclock momentarily. We do have rush up, you do have beat up, but Michigan is coming back in full force. They do have the Tracer Pulse Bomb, and they are looking towards Lucio beat of their own. They do have that Primal Rage. That Lucio beat from Kazma comes out now, looking for another one. Is he able to get Toby1 looking for one? Gets out one. Plankton goes down, but Doppelganger goes out as well. That's a 4v4. Knie goes down. Toby1 looking for one, but Rigpig is absolutely tearing up this entire Wolverine backline as Claymore goes down. Rigpig goes out instead, and it's just back and forth, ladies and gentlemen. There's not much to say as Uio might be able to save this one for Champlain as he is on 100 HP, and Toby1 is as well. As just Winston back and forth. Kazma takes out Toby1, but Uio goes down as well. And Doppelganger able to hit that nade, but he is out without any cooldowns now as Claymore is back looking to secure this one for the Wolverines. We are back and forth still as Doppelganger takes out two. Doppelganger finally goes out as Kani is forced out on 1 HP. That Lucio beat is forced out by Claymore, and there are no ults to work with on Michigan, but they do secure it. Michigan proceeds, and I don't even know what to say. That was such a long team fight. I'm wordless. I was talking for 40 seconds straight, but regardless, Michigan takes the 2-0 victory.
And unfortunately for Champlain, the respawn distance on that side of the map for University of Michigan just meant they didn't really have any chance to full complete the map after Michigan started to get their legs under them. So Michigan will move on to the next round of the winners bracket. We will see Champlain again. We will see Champlain again in the next round of losers. I believe they're playing Penn State.
I do believe so as well. But regardless, we'll see you here up for our next matchup. It is a best-of-3 match. That is still the winner's bracket. But regardless, we'll see you here momentarily. Do stay tuned. We'll have you our next match.